All right, guys, we're back
Well,
with
welcome
another
back to
Latoya
an
Sport
episode
Rant.
of Just My Thoughts. Hello, people. Good day. Back to another sports rant on this beautiful Sunday. Well, I know I'm a couple games behind. I think the first game we played was the Chargers, so I'm just going to do a little rewind. Got off to a little rough start. You know, it was all good. And then the game that we were supposed to lose, which was to the Giants, we actually won that by the skin of our teeth, actually, which was, I was pretty surprised that we even won. And then the game today, that was just really tough, you know. But I'm just curious to see what this season is going to hold. Even though, yes, we're 1-2, I think we'll gradually get better. I mean, people are going to say that we're going to lose. You know, we're not going to have a good season. We're just going to be at the bottom of the NFC East. But who knows? You know, I believe in my team, and I believe that we're capable of winning and, you know, going all the way. I don't know. I just don't like when people are just negative, you know, even though we are only 1-2, you know, I'm pretty sure the fans are like, oh, Heineken, he sucks, he's this, he's that. And that's just normal Redskin fan behavior. So it is what it is. But overall, just watching the game, I think that, you know, Heineke, you know, he does his thing. You know, he has a couple of hiccups here and there in the game, you know, especially, you know, this game against the Buffalo Bills, where he threw interceptions and, you know, and that defense was just crazy. You know, overall, I think he's a good mesh with the team, you know, and this team has potential. It's just that, you know, a lot of people feel like we're, you know, not going to go anywhere. Like last year, many people were counting us out in regards to, you know, going to the playoffs, like even going past regular season, going into postseason. So anything is possible. And, you know, especially being in a division where we have, 3 other rivals, especially with the Dallas Cowboys. So, you know, we're fighting for that number 1 spot. And, you know, we'll see how next week's game goes and everything. So, hats off to my team. You know, yes, it sucks to lose, but in all regards, they play good. Could we have played a little bit better? Yeah, we could have. You know, there's always room for improvement, but we'll be fine.
At least you're not 0-3 like the Giants.
Yeah, at least we're not 0-3, which is a good thing. But even if we was 0-3 or, you know, 3-0, people would still have something to say. So that's just unfortunately where what people say, you know. And even if we did win this game, it would be some type of negative, you know, backlash tomorrow. Oh, well, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, defense looked like this, offense looked. I mean, if you can legitimately say or give a valid reason as to how we could have improved, then okay. But you just have people that just be saying stuff, just be pulling stuff out the air like, oh, you know.
I mean, personally, I feel that I don't know what it is. Of course, y'all's offense is not going to click. Yes, Heineke played good against the Buccaneers, but he wasn't taking first team reps. You know what I'm saying? But it's a young quarterback. Even with Fitzpatrick or Kyle Allen in there, I don't think y'all would be magical and Fitz magic and all that. The defense needs to step up. I mean, yes, it's a young defense and everything, but personally, I feel like that's y'all's strongest point on your team. That organization, the strongest point is the defense. And the defense is not stepping up and doing what they need to do, especially that secondary. Sorry for interrupting your rant, T.
No, it's fine. No, and that's what I'm saying. It's always room for improvement, you know, and like reasons like that, I'm all for it, you know, but when we start, you know, every single time, like it is every year, the quarterback needs to do this. I'm like, well, is he the only one playing, or is there anybody else on the team that is playing?
Well, the quarterback is the leader of the team.
Yeah, but then you got people that will feel like that the quarterback carries that whole team, and he can't. I mean, yes, he's the leader, but it takes more than one person to, you know, do what they need to do on the field. It takes the, you know, wide receivers, takes the offensive line, you know, the running backs and whoever else, you know. And I don't like when people place all of that onto the quarterback's shoulders like that. And yes, he is a young quarterback. And with him coming in, you know, last year, I believe it was, you know, and then him diving into the end zone like that and taking that injury like he did, you know, it just shows that he wanted to play. He wanted to come back next year, or this year rather. So
I feel that Heineken is the best option for that team. Out of the three that they have, Fitzpatrick, Kyle Allen, Heineken, I feel like Heineken knows that he could lose that job at any time. So he goes out there and does what he has to do. He goes hard every single time. Kyle Allen, Fitzpatrick, they know that they can go to another team. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, they get released or whatever, Heineken knows that this could be his only chance. So I feel like he goes out there and for example, like the play that he did today, Fitzpatrick wouldn't have done nothing like that. Kyle Allen wouldn't have done nothing like that. He extends plays, you know, sometimes to his detriment, getting injured or interceptions, but he's a young quarterback. Interceptions are going to happen. I just feel that he's your best option, and you're 1-2. You're 1-2. People were expecting y'all to come into the season and be 0-3. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And I think y'all going to have this bounce back game. If I'm not incorrect, y'all are playing the Falcons next. Yeah. Okay. You play the Falcons, you're going to be 2-2. The Chiefs, okay, we already know how that's going to turn out. Then y'all play the Broncos. Honestly, yes, the Broncos is my team, but I want y'all to win that game. Okay? Y'all play the Panthers. I don't really see y'all losing to the Panthers. Then you play the Raiders. Derek Carr is doing pretty good, but I feel like y'all can win that game. So, I mean, Fitzpatrick is out for, I think they said he's week to week, I think. So, I don't know when he's going to be back. But after these last two games, I feel like it can be a toss-up with Heineken. You know what I'm saying? Like, is Ron Rivera going to be like, you haven't played good enough, we're going to take you out? I don't think he can do that personally.
Will he do that? It's a strong it could happen. It's just with this organization, when I don't know what it is, it's like when they have a good streak going, somehow they throw in some type of monkey wrench and just mess it up.
I don't really feel like y'all had any type of streak going. I mean, I feel like Heineken has more camaraderie with the team. But I don't feel like they're going to give Fitzpatrick that money to have him come back after his injury and just sit on the bench.
Well,
personally,
yes,
it just wouldn't make sense from a money standpoint, from an organization standpoint, sometimes it doesn't matter who plays better. You know, it's about who we paid the most money to, who we signed to be the starting quarterback, and that's Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, we'll see. Cause and then the thing is too, you know, with him being on an injury and then him coming back in, you know, he's got to readjust to, you know, playing and everything. Whereas Heineke's been here since the first game. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm not worried too much about anybody else in the division. Of course, we know the Giants go in their bye week. They come back and they go on a long 5-6 game winning streak. It happens every year. But I'm not worried about the Giants. I'm not worried about the Eagles. The only team that I'm worried about right now is the Cowboys. Because they looked phenomenal. Not an exaggeration, not an overstatement. They looked great against the Buccaneers. Dak came back. I thought he was going to be rusty. And I was hoping he was going to be rusty because made the whole state of Texas burn in hell. But I mean, he looked really, 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 really good. Amari Cooper is saying he's the best wide receiver in the league. Far from the truth, but he was looking like it. These last, 2 games that they played. And tomorrow night, they're going to play the Eagles. I want the Eagles to win, but I think the Cowboys are going to lay the smack down.
Well, with me being the fan that I've been for this team as long as I have, and the strong dislike for the Dallas Cowboys, and it just seems like we'll see. You know, I mean, I'm not every year it's, you know, they're going to take over the division and do all this stuff or whatever, but as you see, that didn't happen at all. So we'll see this season where, you know, and
plus it's too early to really, you know, run away with anything. Exactly. Yeah. You know what they say? NFC least. So,
and especially when we meet, you know, it's always a adrenaline rush, you know, because it's, you know, 2 rivals that, you know, are going head to head, and, you know, we trying to win. So we'll see. You know, I'm especially excited for that game. You know, it's just that my team, I wish them all the luck like I do every year. I try not to get too excited or too invested because, you know, this year especially, I've taken a rollback off of, you know, staying off social media, you know, especially when they lose or when they win, because them comments, it'd just be something else.
Can I ask you a question? What is it about Washington?
You know what? When we would go to DC, and I'm sorry, when I say we, I'm talking about me and you, and I would put on my Redskins, you know, my Redskins hat or a t-shirt, because I'd be so happy, because I'm like, this DC fans go so hard for their team. But then as you look on social media, you see just a whole bunch of just nonsense. And I'm just like, why do you sit on social media? What feels like you sit on there all day monitoring like people's comments just to be commenting just some hate. And then what makes it so bad is these fans will talk so bad about the players and things like that. And my thing is, when we win, when we lose, you guys, so you have something to say. When we win, y'all still have something to say. It's like, it's no, oh, I'm happy we won or this. It's
But
just,
see, but that's what I'm talking about, though. Like, what is it about Washington? Y'all could have a good coach, young, talented players. I mean, maybe since it's been years since y'all have really just got a quarterback that y'all are going to stick with. You know, I think maybe that's the problem. Y'all got the defense. You know what I'm saying? You got the offense. Your players are set in stone who you want for years or whatever. I think the only spot that you're missing is the quarterback. Draft a young quarterback, you know, and let him be there. You know?
exactly. Yeah.
I feel like Taylor Heineke signed as a backup. We already know Fitzpatrick, what they signed him for a year. And that's the thing. Everybody says on 106.7 The Fan, oh, well, this Ron Rivera didn't draft Dwayne Haskins. Or Jay Gruden didn't draft Dwayne Haskins. It was Daniel Snyder and all this stuff. Okay, whatever. That might be true. But Ron Rivera is there. They had a chance to draft, who was it? Justin Herbert, I believe. But they picked Chase Young. They could have had their quarterback of the future. And I just don't know. That seems like that is your Achilles heel. Like, you never want to get a quarterback to stick with them. If you got all these young generational players, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, you know, Josh Allen, you know, all these good parts. The only thing you're missing is the quarterback. Signing an old journeyman like Fitzpatrick is not going to change anything. You know, signing what's his name? Just retired. Alex Smith. Was it going to do anything? Get a young quarterback. Let them, the veterans that you have, sign a veteran a quarterback. That's fine. But let him develop your young quarterback.
Well, that's always been their issue through the years. It's always been a quarterback. And even if we had a quarterback that we were sticking with, for some reason they felt like they needed to get another one to, I guess, have him start or something. And it was like we left the other positions just kind of open, you know, and it was our offensive line that was struggling. But you want to focus on quarterbacks and getting this person and that person and not really letting that quarterback develop and do what he needs to do. I just felt like we wasted money, a lot of money, on drafting quarterbacks when we had one, and they just didn't let him develop and didn't let him do what he needed to do. And therefore you left what was a problem, which was our offensive line. Because that defensive line to a quarterback, it's like the protection, you know, because without that offensive line, that quarterback is going to get bulldozed. It's going to get hurt, you know. And yes, have our offensive line just completely left holes open, had a lot of mistakes. Yes, absolutely, you know. But
so you don't think your offensive line has improved?
I feel like, yes, we have improved, you know, but there's still always room, you know, for more improvement, especially when the quarterback has to rush to find who is open down the field, you know. And I just think if they put Fitzpatrick back in, oh well, so be it, you know. And then maybe just give Heineke a chance to, you know, get himself together and then maybe develop some more, you know. But I just don't want them to do what they do and just completely shut him out. You know what I mean? And yes, and that's always too been another thing that I never understood, is why we get veteran quarterbacks from other teams and we never just stick, with going, yes, in and drafting, a new quarterback and just sticking with him. It was always, we need to get, like, who was it? Who played on the Eagles? I forgot what his name is. Donovan McNabb was one. And then...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all sign journeyman veterans from other teams that are past their prime. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like Fitzpatrick can bring something to the team. I do. I really do. But speaking of quarterbacks, I listen to 106.7 The Fan. I don't listen to regular radio. I listen to sports talk radio. And Sports Junkies, Thom Lavero, the Rooster, everybody's talking bad about RG3. Because when Fitzpatrick went down, RG3 posted a picture of himself in the Redskins uniform, the Washington football team uniform. I saw that, yeah. And he said, make the call. And there's a couple of Redskin fans or Washington football team fans that I work with. And they was like, that's a bad idea and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, well, I don't understand why.
Well,
they didn't want to sign Cam, and I think that would be a great signing.
And my thing is too, like, are y'all like somehow guilty of how y'all let that man go? And then on top of that, he didn't let the scrutiny from the fans and from the backlash from the franchise affect him, because as you see, he went on to 2 other teams.
Adam Schefter, I believe, asked him about that.
Yeah.
And he said, well, how do you feel, with everything that went down? He said, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. You know what I'm saying? They need help, and I'm willing to help. I think that was a really mature thing to say.
Very humbling, too, because you still have people just like, with the Dwayne Haskins situation, and then with many other players that have left the team. You still have people that have, that sour taste in their mouth when it comes to RG3, just as they did with Dwayne Haskins and heck, even Kirk Cousins. People still have something to say. And I'm just like, how long have they been gone from the team? And I just feel like, yeah, if we brought RG3 back, that would be awesome. I don't see why that would be a problem. But then, you got the fans in the, in the comments and on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, saying that it's probably a bad idea. Why would we bring him back and all this other stuff? Well, look at the way that franchise did him, and look at the way that he was let go. The man was pretty much injured. Coach put him back in knowing that he was injured, and then just completely just demolished him. Oh, so they thought.
One of my staff members is a Redskins fan. He said the only reason he's a Redskins fan because he considers himself a Native American. But his outlook on the RG3 thing is RG3 did it to himself. He feels like, I said, well, were you in the locker room with him? He was like, no. He said that RG3 would like brag about being picked up in a limo by Dan Snyder's driver and everything like that. And he was real cocky, and that's why his offensive line let him get injured. And I said, you really think that's the truth, or are you just making excuses for a horrible offensive line? Because correct me if I'm wrong, everybody hates RG3 now, but everybody was on his jockstrap when he was winning games, and he was like doing things that no quarterback have done in a long time.
And that's the thing, when our quarterback is on a streak and they win, yeah, the fans are on 20. But then the second, it's like they're just waiting. They're happy, but it's like, I'm just waiting for them to mess up. Like today with Heineken. I guarantee you, fans were in the comments talking a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think Heineke is going to catch as much flack as all the other quarterbacks because I don't think nobody have loved. People love Heineke like they loved RG3 before he got injured. Like people are really, some people are really, okay, put it like this. Listen to the radio, people are like 50-50. A lot of people, or maybe a little bit more than that, but people are high on Heineke after the Buccaneers game. Because a lot of people say, oh, that doesn't matter. But y'all playing the Buccaneers, y'all gave them the hardest game that they played before they went to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of people are high on Heineke. Do I feel like that's going to change after this game? Yes, I do. Only because Washington football team fans, like, y'all are 1 minute, this person sucks. Like how they did to Kirk Cousins or Colt McCoy. You know, oh, he sucks. Then it went and beat Dallas in Dallas that year. And everybody's like, yeah, I told you. Like, y'all just got to give us a chance. So, yeah, a lot of people are going to hate Heineke after this. But I don't think he's going to catch as much flack as all the other quarterbacks have.
And I mean, to the small percentage of fans that actually act right, kudos to the fans that are bipolar. 1 minute, oh, I'm happy. Oh, now I don't like you. Whatever. Because regardless, you know, my thing is, just like they tell people don't jump on the bandwagon, I feel like if y'all gonna sit there and do all of that, be extra, then once we start getting on a streak, then stay off the bandwagon. Stay where you at. Because that's how I felt with last year, you know, and many other years before that. Because my thing is, you cannot just get mad and act like you want to tear up and burn up your jersey and throw away all your memorabilia and merchandise and stuff. And then the minute that we're on a streak, oh my goodness, you know, you're back on. I'm a Redskins fan. I'm this, I'm that. Make up your mind. You know, like either you're on or you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just irritating and it's just fake to me. You know, because I'm like, I don't feel like you're a true fan if you're constantly like in between. Like either you're going to be on it or you're not. And if you feel that way about this team every single year, then go find another team. It's that simple. But the only reason why people say attached is so they can just have something to say. So you can get on social media or so they can go talk crap, you know, about the players or about the coach. Or I'm like, it shouldn't come as a surprise of just how dysfunctional this franchise is. Like, it is what it is every single year. So either you're in it or you're out. You know, and that's just my stance, because I'm like, we are adults. We're not children. So getting on social media, saying what you say about the team, or you're getting mad because, oh my goodness, they took an L. I'm like, there are certain teams that got worse records than we do. What do you want? At the end of the day, either you're a fan or you're not. So.
All right. I feel like that's a good way to close. So what we're going to do each week is we're going to talk about the next game. So your next game is Sunday, October 3rd versus
the Falcons.
I'm going to say y'all are going to win that game 23-14.
I would have to agree. 23-14.
All right.
I have to agree, yeah.
Sounds good.
On the warpath, fight for all.
for tuning in. Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And until then,